I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back, it's getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
As you already know, here we go. The Faison View Podcast, episode 228, man. We're gonna be approaching 300 soon. As you already know, host with the most, brother right here. And co-host, Hugh. Let's get it, bro. Let's get it. And you're already host, yours truly, at the Faison View Podcast, man. Make sure you go get that merch, man. 2021 is about to be a big year for Game Shift. And
go cop the merch, man. Go cop the merch.
It's coming,
Got too much left. Go cop the merch.
Hey, the summer aura is here. You see the color power. I got more in store. I got some necklaces. I got some waist beads coming very soon. And also I have merch at the Faison View Podcast coming soon as well, man. The summer gear. Summertime is the best time. So let's get into it, man. As you already know, man, before we even get into everything, I just want to say to you, KD's the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody says.
PG County stand up, man.
Stand up and PG County stand up.
PG County stand up.
The talent here in the DMV is bar none, especially in PG County, man. Let's get our respect, man. Let's get our respect because we got the best player in the world. He's 1-on-1. He's 1-on-1.
I don't care nobody say that KD's the best player in the world. He's arguably the greatest scorer ever. I still got Mike.
In my opinion, he's the greatest scorer to me.
I still got Mike.
And that's fine.
Yo, but KD is obviously, for sure.
You go to the best scorer and you go to the most unguardable because you never seen a 7-footer with that length shooting over people, having handles like Kyrie and doing everything on the court, man.
49, the best player in the league, bro.
49, 17, and 10.
All 48 minutes.
Give caps off to him, as you already know, man. So, man, on our agenda today, we got a real good one, man. Tonight, it's Wednesday, it's June 16th, man. So that Eve and Trina, it's going down tonight. So we're going to discuss and see what your views are on that. All right, next, what movie traumatized you the most when you were younger? Like, what movie was just one of those movies you just could not watch again because it traumatized you? New albums released, man. As you hear me playing right now, the intro, Culture 3, Polo G. But we want to talk about Polo G in depth, man, because he was arrested by Miami Police after his album release. And it was a crazy scene. Next, allegedly James Harden, of course they're in the playoffs right now, but cash out Saweetie for $100K for a date. I mean, yes, it was speculation, but what's your thoughts on that? Pharrell Williams, man, a pioneer, an icon of us both that we really love, especially with this fashion stuff and the music. Opened private schools for low-income families in Virginia, man. Big feat. Lastly, would you rather your partner have a life-threatening job or one that took up most of their time or a lot of their time? So we're gonna delve into that, man. Hey, bro, I don't know who you got, but I'm gonna tell you right now who I got right now. I'm gonna tell you who I got.
Oh, I got her for sure.
Bruh, stop playing with you, bro. Stop playing. And let me give my respect to the baddest. Oh. Kyrie in the back with the ad-libs in here. Let me give respect to the... Who's bad? Hey,
yeah, Kyrie.
Who's bad? You know, give respect to Trina and Eve, man. This is gonna be a legendary versus. As we just spoke to, who you got? You have Eve.
I got Eve. I was more of an Eve fan growing up. My only thing is I'm trying to think. I'm like, do they have 20? Both of them.
Yeah,
like, do they? I don't know because Eve left rap early on purpose. Right. She left with a banger. Like she put out Tambourine, which was a smash, and then like she skated after that. She was she kind of left rap early on the scene. Like,
but me and my boy was really going back and forth with. I don't think they both have 20. They do have good music. They do have good music in their catalog. But we talking about hits for hits. But what I was telling my boy in which why I edge Eve, I love Trina, which why I edge Eve is because her catalog is like, and her content is pure great quality. And for the woman coming out in those 2000s, the early 2000s, she was at the top of the game.
I give top of the game because she still has Rough Rider.
And then you got Rough Rider.
Joints she's done that she can But
also she also has 5+ by herself solo hits.
Yeah,
like Love Is Blind. We just played Got a Man. Like
Who's That Girl?
Tambourine.
Tambourine.
Like she has some hits. And shout out to the baddest, Trina. I love Trina. And I feel like, and it's not just saying, oh, it was a street but she brought a lot of aura of street, really of how you see Cardi B, how you see Nicki Minaj, how you see those MCs, Meg Thee Stallion. Trina was way before her time within that realm. She was still a good musician. But Eve, I feel like Eve sets herself apart. And it wasn't just like she was mainstream and she had Rough Riders. She was actually a talented artist.
I think when it comes to like women in hip hop, I think Kim was like the mold for like the sexy female that was hard and gangsta that had really hard bars. And I think Trina, not that this is something to champion, but it is something that was impactful. I think Trina set the bar for like women who like to be nasty in their records and stuff like that. Because a lot of her music was a lot of sexiness and this type of talk, stuff you hear today. It may not be the best thing to hear today, but it is something you hear today. And I think Trina was like the first, like the one of the pioneers of that with women, just kind of talking how the men talk. She's one of the first female rappers to do that. Kim was like the female gangster, and then Eve was like, they called her the pit bull in the skirt. She was like another mold of Kim.
Yeah, not facts. And honestly, to both of their credit, they were both, even though we be saying one side was Trina had a little bit more street edge and Eve had more of the mainstream side. They both had a lot of diversity in their music. They both had a lot of love hits, R&B songs. They had street songs. They had hood anthems. They also had mainstream anthems and hits. So, hey, much credit to both of these
songs. I know she could probably play Wilder with Lil Wayne. She's got What Mean the World to Me. The remix with Dipset and
her and Trick Daddy.
She's got Trick Daddy joint. She's got
Look Back at It.
Look Back at It. She's got what's the joint? She's got 1 Minute Man with Ludacris and Missy Elliott.
But Eve got this though.
Yeah, Eve got a lot of bangers, bro.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a good one. And also, a lot of people say we're gonna give Trina her respect because regardless, she deserves her respect because she's been in the game and she's also, even though that we speak to Eve as being better, but she's also been in the game longevity wise more than Eve because Trina still makes music.
Yeah, Eve kind of left for the acting scene. She does the talk show host thing.
Yeah, correct. So we're gonna give her credit for sure. You know, I just think Eve, she just stood out because her swag, her aura, like the type of woman she was more so. In the essence, you felt like she was kind of tomboyish, but she wasn't. She could be a girly girl. She could be classy. She was just real raw within her bars, and her flow is magnificent.
She was kind of like how people looked at when they saw Wale with MMG. It's like, because you got Ross and you got me and all these other street guys, and here comes Wale. Like, does he really fit in with this group? So it's like with Rough Riders, you have all these really rough gangster dudes, but here's this like does this pretty chick fit in with this group? And no, she found her lane and she blended right in. Same way Wale found his lane and he blended right in with MMG. Shout out to Wale, he got new songs on
Shout out to Wale. But
and then Chris Brown is on there.
And then it's like I like both of these. Like it was tough for me because I'm a real big fan of both. I'm a real big fan of Trina and a real big fan of Eve. But when I look down at the catalog, I'm gonna edge Eve because the music that she has, it's like timeless. It's one of those, every time I could play each song that we played just now, and you know, maybe you guys can't hear it as much. We're not trying to have you guys hear it as much. But each song we played, you could bring back in a point in time when we were little kids, when we remembering these songs. Like, and then even to the last one, you know, Trombone, that is a mega hit. Tambourine, that's a trombone.
Yeah, that's a good one. When you gonna go out, you gotta go out like that.
That's a mega hit.
I love Who's That Girl. I replay that every time I play it. I always hit replay. I always gotta play it again. I love Who's That Girl. Like that's a classic. You know, that's like an anthem. The beat is amazing. I like the sample they use. I like the hook. Yeah, it was just. I love Who's That Girl. That's my favorite Eve record.
And honestly, and with Trina too, I like the edge that Trina brings a lot within her music. Like Trina's edge within her music, that set her apart a lot.
And Philly finna be in the house tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big one though. This is gonna be a big versus. No matter what nobody say, this is gonna be a big versus.
This is the first female MC versus.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah. They haven't done any female MC versus.
That's what we really.
They've done the R&B joint, but they haven't done the female MCs.
That's
so this is the first one. So that's tough. I like this one.
This is a good one, man. So y'all make sure y'all comment below. I got Eve, man. My brother got Eve as well. But
Eve had all the ladies dancing.
But I'm sure it's a lot that got Trina, so we're not sitting there being biased. We just talking about who we got and who we prefer, because I feel like Eve is just, she really deserves her credit, because she was one-on-one before a lot of these, you know, artists, women artists right now, and women rappers. She wasn't just she was a rapper, but she was also an artist. Her artistry within her music was tough, was dope. And like you said, she stood out with Rough Riders. You gotta understand who's in Rough Riders. You know, and who she stood up against, the Locks, DMX. You know, that's not easy. You know, that's not easy to really live up to those expectations, especially if you're almost one of the only women in the group. So much respect to both of them. Hey, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Eve and Trina.
And she went through a lot too. Eve's been through a lot.
For sure, man. For sure. Shout out to her. She got herself a billionaire. She's doing her thing, man.
Oh, word?
Yeah, you didn't know Trina took a hiatus. I said Trina. Eve took a lot of hiatus because she been overseas. She has a billionaire boyfriend. I'm not sure the status now, but that was, you know, that was in that time when she just ducked off. You know, do her. Feel you. So much respect to both of them. We gonna see. Man, next, bro. What movie traumatized you most when you were younger? What movie most traumatized?
I don't scare easily, so it's kind of hard. But I will say, I'm gonna go with. I could watch it, but I'm gonna go with. At the time, I'm gonna go with Chucky. At the time, I remember it was my first trip to Disney World and Universal Studios. I'm with my family. I might have been like 8 at the time, something like that. And I think we were in some museum, and it was like this scary looking doll on the wall. I was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "Mom, who is that?" Like, "That's Chucky." And my mom and dad started talking about Chucky and all the other stuff. And I think that night you watched the movie. And I remember having a hard time going to sleep that night. So that was the only. I think that was the only time I was really like, "Yo, I don't want to see that again." At the time, yeah, I've seen Chucky mad times since then, but that's like the only memory I can think of where a movie really like. Because my mother used to show me horror stuff when I was young all the time. Like I love that stuff. Like that's why I don't watch horror today. I'm scared easily. Like I loved horror flicks. So like that was probably the one time I can remember where I was like, yeah, that really bugged me at night.
Yeah, that one, Chucky definitely for me, especially because me having my son Kyrie and stuff like that. Also, like the toys be going off at night, so that just made me think of Chucky. They don't even know nothing about Chucky, because Chucky, that dog, man, was just
today. I'm like, I would never let a dog kill me. Like
yeah, exactly. You know, like, but when you were young, it's just like. You know what I'm saying? You looking in that scope.
So speaking of toy, I don't want to cut you off, but like you ever seen the movie Small Soldiers? You remember that?
That's probably one of my favorite.
I love Small Soldiers. That was kind of like that vibe. Like toys come to life, get them out of your own, try to kill you. It wasn't a horror flick, but it was like still.
Yeah, because you younger, you playing with toys. You playing
exactly
with every day, so it's like.
Thank God for Toy Story.
One of y'all turn on you, right? You give a positive side to it.
What was your movie?
My movies, because it was multiple, but of course one was definitely Chucky, Child's Play, and Candyman for certain, bro.
Oh, okay.
Like, Candyman had me shook for certain. And then also, you know, just the realm of the game, and then you going into the mirror and you know all these different things when you younger, trying to experiment, play games. I was never with that. Never with it.
There's a new one coming out. It's already out.
I had an older brother who used to be watching that. He used to try to scare me, turn off the light, we'd run in the bathroom. They try to lock me out and stuff. So I had a very traumatizing experience when it's come to horror films, and such as like Candyman. And like I said before in the podcast, Jeepers Creepers, bro. Oh, it still had me spooked out, bro.
Which one?
Especially to the cicada stuff. The first and second one was bar none.
Which one was the one with the thing where they were on the school bus and the thing?
That's the second one.
Okay.
That was my favorite one personally. That was OC.
Yeah, that one was OC.
And it puts everything into perspective, because it's like things like that is realistic, especially when we talked about before, when you have cicadas out here, and that's literally dang near the same concept and the same thing is what a Jeepers Creepers was. So like now, that was traumatizing. Candyman, I was scared to even say it when I was younger.
That's the point.
Like, yeah, they talking about some 3 times. Like, I'm good, bro. I'm good. But yeah, definitely know. Now looking at it like, nah, you Chucky, you come to life.
It's a lot of
the kick like a football.
Yo, it's a lot of the old people, like the old scary joints that would get they butts kicked today. Like I wish I would see Mike Miles today. You would get jumped. For real. Like we're not going like that. Nah,
seriously. It's funny because you look at it when
and Freddy, like, fam, you're not gonna kill me in my dream. Right. Like this is my hair. Like no.
Actually, now that you said that, that's actually probably my biggest fear was Freddie, bro.
Freddie got a lot of
because
it's like
think about it.
It made you afraid to go to sleep.
And I don't know if this has ever happened to you. No, what's it called? Sleep paralysis.
I don't think so,
bro. That's happened to me plenty of times, bro. I don't like it, bro. And honestly, it was a lot of those situations where it was like Freddie, when I just think in the mindset, because I was watching Freddie vs. Jason when I was very young, when I really wasn't supposed to. Freddie spooked me out because that's the ultimate way to kill somebody in your dream.
Freddie was the joint that made you afraid to go to sleep. That was brilliant back in the day. No, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, today, like, you're not gonna be in my dream and kill me. Like, no, like, this is my head, buddy. If anything, you're going down.
Yeah,
I remember seeing, I think they're redoing it. They're redoing a lot of the old joints, which is great because it's like, you know, when you go back and rewatch them, you're like, this what made you, like, I remember watching the old It, and I'm like, wait, this made y'all scared of clowns? I'm like, this is what did it? Now the new It,
but the new It is spooky to general a lot of people, bro.
It is, but for a lot of people, it was the It movie that did it. The new movie, I get it. The new movie was like, all right, this is scarier. But the old movie, I was like, really? But I remember watching the, cause my dad, the first date to my mom on, was to see The Thing, the movie The Thing, at this at the you know across the street from FedEx used to be Landover Mall. Now it's like this huge empty parking lot over there. But like that used to be Landover Mall. He took her there to go see the movie. He took her to see The Thing, and she talked about how she ran out the movie theater screaming and whatnot. And I remember watching it. I was like, okay. I said, so this is The Thing. I remember, okay. So that's one. I think they're redoing it. They haven't done it already, but that was one of the old joints. Like, I think the creepiest part when the dog starts separating and turning into the joint, and it's like
horror movies, bro. Back then, when you younger, it just hit different because you young and you're not understanding it.
Today, it's the horror movies. Like, I feel like you gotta really be disturbed to come up with some of the stuff that comes up with today. Some of it seems forced. Like,
so with them moving on to tell you what's our really horror story, especially us being black brothers. Honestly, a horror story of ours is really just getting pulled over by the police. Yeah. And to segue into another topic, new albums were released by Polo G, Hall of Fame, very good album.
Haven't heard it yet.
Culture 3, very good album.
I have heard.
To me, both of those are about an 8 out of 10 for me, all in all. But really, just to talk about Polo G, and it was just a very, very traumatic experience just watching. As always, it continues to happen when history repeats itself, and this is not the end. You know, they are profiling, they see you, especially when you are of some type of fame or some type of credibility. So Polo G was in Miami celebrating his album release, and after his album release, which he wasn't the driver, he was with his other brother also. And I think they were, it was just them two together, just them two in the car.
With his sister too.
And with his sister. And, you know, his mother went on live and was actually recording, and from the recording, it showed about 15 plus Miami cops going on to literally, 2 to 3 individuals in a car, in which Polo G wasn't even driving. And it's stuff like this that just frightens you to death, especially as a parent. Frights you to death because you could be minding your business, even if it's a traffic stop. Why are you having 15 plus cars on 2 to 3 individuals? It's no really answer for it. It's no answer for it. And I've experienced this as well too. I've been in the car with one of my friends, and this is a reason why I would never ever go back to Ocean City is because me and my boys in Ocean City, and they racial profiled us.
They wild up there.
Racial profiled us as soon as we got there because of all the things going on around spring break. But nah, you know, we were parked in the parked car. I don't tell this story much. I was in park, bro. They literally came up to my car. This is 2017, 2018 when I came home from college. They came up to my car with me and my boy in the car, and it was literally about 10 cops. You know, just asking us what we doing, where we going, what's about to go on, is a party, da-da-da. And it's like, this doesn't happen to anybody else other than our skin color. And it's disgusting and it's distasteful, especially when you get to a point such as Polo G with, I'm not saying you have any credibility because that's when they're looking at you more, but to a point where Polo G even said that one cop told him that, yeah, we were looking for you as soon as you got off the flight, off the plane. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? And then we can't just keep on blaming it on the individual. Oh yeah, well you're doing this, you're doing that.
I can't land in Miami.
It's just like
all I did was land in Miami.
It's like, what do you want me to do? Y'all are looking for us, and y'all are looking for problems. Y'all are looking for the problems and issues, bro. Like, so I just find this very, very distasteful, bro. And I'm really just sick of it. Honestly, if I'm speaking to this, I'm sick of it. Yeah. And a mother, and especially a mother being his manager, should not have to witness or go through something.
I think
like
his sister got arrested with him. She was out there trying to,
No, right. Exactly.
She got arrested.
She did get arrested.
He out, which is great, all out, which is great. I didn't see. I mean, I knew about the story, but I didn't read that much into it because sometimes you just get tired of like seeing stuff like this, especially with the Ocean City stuff. And it's just like, so shout out to Polo G. But I have experienced that. It was like mad years ago. I was younger in my neighborhood. It was like, I think I told this story. I'm not sure, but I remember we were all. It was me and all my homeboys and my guy Rob's car. Rest in peace to my guy Rob Dollar. And so we were playing music, and our neighbor walked by, and she, made a comment about the music, and we got out the car. We about to go on the other man's house to like chill out, and then this cop pull up. This cop car swerve. There's two cops in the car. They tell us all still on the curb, and my man Rob, he called his dad outside, and the cop knocked his phone out of his hand, but he already made the call. Right. So it's like it's 7 of us on the curb, and like we were still on the curb because my Rob's dad was arguing with the cop. And then one by one, all our parents started showing up. We were on the curb for like maybe like an hour, but like there's like at least 7 cars out there, 2 to a car, and there's seven teenagers, and it's like you're looking at about 14 police officers, and it's like, yo, like is this really necessary? Like, and we literally did nothing. And what we speculated, our neighbor had made a complaint about something, but then I think the officers told our parents that nobody made a complaint. I think they were just checking the area and whatnot, because our area is like mad hot right now. There's a lot of drug traffic going in and out. Most of the years I grew up, so that was crazy just to have like all them police officers out there just talking to us.
It's just the fact
it's like 7 of us.
You shouldn't be racially profiled off of just judgment of skin color. And it may seem like this conversation is cliche, but it always needs to be spoken on, because it's how will others understand if y'all are not teaching anybody to understand? Because these individuals, they're in the police force. They hide behind a badge, but guess what? They already been taught a certain way and to look at us in a certain light. Driving while black, walking while black, doing anything while black. You don't understand how frightened we are as really just individuals and human beings, and not being treated as such. It's different, bro. It's different. And this Polo G situation is distasteful because he just dropped the album. He's trying to enjoy his success, celebrate with his family, with his people. #1 album. And guess what? You bring problems and you bring drama to him. And really for what? Really for what? And then also you have so many things in which if you look down to the situation, Polo G's been charged for multiple things. I know a lot of people have been pulled over, even to this situation right now with the Capitol riot situation, and with the dude putting his feet on the table within the office of one of the senators. You haven't been updated on that. They haven't thrown him under the jail, locked the key, or any of that. Or they haven't thrown a billion charges. We still waiting on everybody to get arrested from the Capitol riot. But you got a black man who is successful, who has just dropped the album.
All he did was land in Miami.
15 cops on him, bro. Come on, man.
You can't even land in Miami. That's crazy.
It's goofy, bro. It's goofy. But shout out to him. Shout out to Culture 3, the Migos, man. Shout out to all of them on their album releases, man. Much success to these black men. So with them moving on, another successful black man and black woman, but allegedly, and it came out it's not true. So we just want to speak on it though. Allegedly, James Harden cash apps Saweetie $100K for a date. What are the thoughts, man? What are the thoughts?
I don't see the purpose, because it's like, what are you going to, where are you going to, this is why I'm confused. There's so many things in my head. I'm like, I have so many questions. I don't even know where to start. What are your plans? Is that the money you plan to spend on the date? And if so, why are you giving it to her? Or are you paying her to go on the date and then you're gonna spend even more money? There's so many questions. I don't get it. I don't understand the logic behind it.
And the reason why I believed it, and it's nothing, and it's not that we trying to give anybody, a gripe or be mad or be distasteful, because nobody's hating on it over here. But it's just solely off the fact that everything is money based. It's not based off of no foundation. It's not based off of love. It's not based off
of interest.
A genuine interest. It's not based on anything like that. So when things like this come out, and you have, I posted on my page, but you have women commenting back like, oh, okay, so what? That's what he thought she was worth. But that's the problem, though. Also, it's a man's problem and a woman. I'm not biased when we have conversations about this because you got men that just are trying to oppress upon a woman with money and their stature or their maybe their status. And then you have the woman that think they're owed that money every single time they encounter with any man. So now you have a mindset of which, oh well, if I'm to get this 100K from James Harden, I'm expecting that from each and every man after. Or it's not, you know, it's no middle ground right now because at the end of the day, it's just so much influence on both sides as a man and a woman. It's no middle ground in the sense of like true essence of really being in a relationship. So just honestly, like this whole situation is just, it's not saying it's a bad thing. It's just solely of the fact that us as men reviewing this is getting tiresome because now guess what? Every woman that say if we were to approach or to look at, it's just like, okay, you're expecting money, you're expecting dollar value, you're not expecting a relationship, you're not expecting just being genuine or having genuine interest. You're expecting a dollar amount to come behind it. And that's also the man's fault of today's world now too.
Yeah, and then you're gonna be mad when the man expects certain things of you.
Exactly.
After giving you a whole bunch of money.
Exactly.
It's like, so.
And it's like also too, it's like men can't want for nothing nowadays. It's totally different. It's like we can't want for anything.
And if we do anything, we're gay. Anything we do is gay.
Anything you do.
Like you remember that period of time where just saying hi was thirsty? Now, like breathing as a man is gay.
Everything you do is under the speculation. And if you're not too tough, you're not too this, you're not too that, you're looked upon in a different way or a different light. And it shouldn't be like that. But it's just a lot of goofiness going on. But at the end of the day, it's still good women and good men out here. But it's just hard to find when you're mixed up in what value is and what the value in which you're trying to. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's value is just based off of money and materialistic things. You know, with the man trying to give women materialistic things, but also you're not understanding that it's also causing a ripple effect on her mind. It's just like, oh, okay, well, I can do this, well, I can obtain this when I'm talking to this, but every man is different. Every man is different. And also, just because you coming from the ground up doesn't mean you're worth or less than anything. Because it's a lot of men out here just being real that provide for women. But on the other side, flip side of things, that would never be the case for men. You know, and if they did, you're looking down upon. So it's like, you know, we just gotta keep the playing field even when they.
You know they tried to. They know they. This is another topic for another day. But you know they tried to cancel the song "Cater to You." There was a petition. There was a petition going around for that.
But that's what I'm saying, like yo. But that's, to your point, it's not a bad point what you're making. The fact that nowadays we champion and love cater to you, and what the message was at the end of the day was just women trying to cater to their man. Now it's women trying to be so masculine like men. Now it's like, oh, cater to you.
They said the song's about slavery.
You know what I'm saying?
Like what?
Right, and just changing the aspect of the song. Even when what's it called? Michelle had to come out and even say something like, bro.
Nah, Michelle kept it 100 though. You know she quoted the Bible and everything. Yeah, just because you casted your pearls among swine,
so what you talking
doesn't mean that you get to cancel this song.
Right.
Like, yo, if you give your pearls to someone who values your pearls, then they deserve to be catered to.
Just saying anything, bro. Just saying anything. But it's just in the day era we just got to continue to elevate and continue to really not be on the other side of things. Try to come together. You know what I'm saying? It's too much of a split right now between man and woman, and then, you know, one side trying to be masculine, one side on the other side trying to just be the provider and just give materialistic things. It has to be a balance at the end of the day. So we didn't bring it up to just talk about those two. We just bring it up just in the overall principle of what's going on. So definitely just want to speak to that. And your boy, your man, fashion icon, and also a musical icon and legend, man. Pharrell Williams to open private schools for low-income families in Virginia. What are your thoughts, bro?
Pharrell is the GOAT. That's all I have to say. Not just gonna add more. Pharrell is always been there. He's a great guy. And he loves Virginia. He loves where he comes from, and I like this because I think I think black people, not just black people, but most folks wants their kids for whatever reason to go to private school because for whatever reason they feel like the education is better for them. I'm not on that side, but I do get it, and so I think his thing is you know, people in low income housing should be able to, you know, still just
Exactly.
because you live in a low income situation doesn't mean
Right.
you should not be afforded higher education.
For sure.
So it's kind of like the LeBron situation. You know, LeBron wants to, you know, give opportunities for kids who wouldn't get that opportunity to get higher education. So I think it's dope what Pharrell is doing, trying to, you know, be a positive light and force in his community, and, you know, just provide opportunities for people who may not be able to get it. Because he talked about that with Steve Stout. He talked about how so many people, there's so much talent within people come from the inner city and low income housing, and the skills just isn't applied in the right situation and way.
Absolutely.
Like, you got, like, Pharrell talking about, he knew guys that could do wheelies and all types of different tricks and never saw the X Games.
Right.
He knew guys that could do all types of breakdance moves, but it never went nowhere. But I mean, but fortunately now breakdancing is in the Olympics. You know, you got guys who know how to cook drugs, but they're not doing anything within chemistry. Like, their skill is always, like, the skill is there, but it's not applied to the right thing.
Right.
So, like, I think he's just trying to provide an outlet for people who, you know, who come from those situations, who are very talented in things, like they know math, they know how to keep account within drugs, stuff like that. That could be applied to something way better. And now you have an opportunity to do that here.
Absolutely. So I to piggyback what you said everything in one, and I totally wholeheartedly believe that, because all the entertainers, a lot of people that we look on to, the icons, the legends, they come from low income families. Like, they come from low income, they come from poverty. They had to make the best out of their situations, but imagine if they had an opportunity in which Pharrell's offering to them. So it's a beautiful thing. Good job, baby. So this is just a beautiful thing. And like you said about the private schools, that's what I love about this movement, because he's providing low-income families to private schools. Who said in the first place it should be a stipulation about who should be in a private or a public school in the first place? So that's where everything goes. Everything we are being taught, we have been taught, has been so much programmed. And I feel like with these certain type of moves, we're getting out of the programming type of mindset.
I think it's like that because people have to give up their own money for that schooling. And so it's like, if you're going to pay for it, it should be, you know, worth something. Whereas for public schools, your taxes go to public schools.
But also
it's
too,
like, and that's free. Like,
in these low-income families and in these areas, why is it a liquor store right next to a church? You know, those type of things. You know, so how am I
bring the property value down?
Exactly, bringing the property value down, bringing the schools down. But you wanted me to just go to this public school in which we have a liquor store, a church right here, a mini mart, convenience store right next to the school, and all things in all one area.
And public school is dope, by the way.
And public school is not a problem at all. Yeah. But also just having another option, this brings a very, very good sentiment to the space. You know, just like Sam with LeBron doing. Everything we're doing right now is to break the mold. And I love the fact that Pharrell Williams took the initiative to really just want to do this and really want to elevate where he is from. Absolutely. So,
and on a superficial note, shout out to his jewelry. He's still setting the bar for jewelry. I don't know if anybody saw his new piece. He's crazy. Like, just to be superficial real quick, you know, I'm a Pharrell stan. Yo,
he's
like, he literally, like, he still sets the bar. Like, his new piece on his neck and his grills, 22 karat gold. He's got white diamonds, yellow diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. Like, no one else out here is doing that. That's crazy. Like, you got guys who might get yellow diamonds, red diamonds, blue diamonds. You don't have guys that's literally walking around with, like, those type of jewels on their neck or in their mouth. Like, he literally has infinity stones, like, on his neck and mouth. Like, you know, all the Pokemon games, the Ruby version, like, that's literally what he walked in and said, yeah, give me that.
I respect Pharrell always, because he's always been different.
He's always breaking the mold. Like, it's like, yikes. Like, he's always just, I love this one. He's always setting the bar higher, and it's like, it's crazy. Just expect to see a whole lot more stuff like that. Like,
absolutely, man. Shout out to Pharrell, because that's
I had
a
to
huge
just fan out real quick.
Monumental thing, bro. Especially us being teachers, bro. No matter what, that's a huge monumental thing. Right. Giving other opportunities and opening doors for these children, these youth. These are the ones that are gonna set the bar and really be, you know, really be our doctors, really be our teachers in the years to come. So just shout out to him, man. Lastly, as you always know, would you rather your partner have a life-threatening job or one that took up a lot of their time? You know, a lot of people are in those situations right now, but I would say they take up the most of their time, because at the end of the day, I don't want you to go into a place where it's just life threatening. My father and my grandfather have been firefighters for 25 plus years. 25 plus years, lieutenants and captains. Man, they did that. But also just for myself, if I'm openly and being real speaking, that used to frighten me a lot, especially with my father. It used to frighten me because you never know. You talking about the PTSD, firefighting and those jobs of such is the equivalent to military. You are dealing with a traumatic type of experience each and every night, and constantly, and having to wake up in the middle of your sleep, put a suit on, and go into a building in which you have to save people, worried about not getting killed or barricaded in. It's a lot of variables that come a part of it. So I would never want to have a partner that is dealing with or having a job that is a life-threatening job. I'd rather it take up your time and you be happy with that job instead.
I get that, man. Honestly, from a personal standpoint, that's understandable. I think I would rather go with a life-threatening job because I do want to be able to see my partner, and I think when you think of life-threatening job, you don't think of anything crazy. You think of real careers like being an officer or being a firefighter, or and I think those are admirable careers. I would be proud, to have if my woman was somebody like that, they put their life on the line for other people. It would scare me, I would say that. But yeah, I think, and I also think a lot of times when you have life-threatening jobs, it is also a job that takes a lot of your time.
Kind of one and the same too.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go with that. At least I would get to see you, and knowing that and I'm proud knowing that you're out there doing something, making a difference, and inspiring others and saving other people's lives. I would like that.
Respectfully too. And also just in the facts of you doctors and nurses as well, you guys have life-threatening jobs too.
Yeah, especially after last year.
About you, especially after with all these things going on with it in COVID-19, man. Much respect and shout out to y'all, especially in the health realm and the health field, because we couldn't have done anything or got to this point without you guys. So shout out to you guys. So man, as you already know, man, another amazing podcast, another one. Kai, it is okay, baby, it's okay. 5 p.m. Eastern time. Please like, share, and subscribe, man. Please like, share, and subscribe. Much love, man. You be easy. You be easy. We out.
Cop the merch.
Cop that merch, man. Make sure you go get that. One.